I love you dearly, my good friend on the Facebook who I selected. I said, here, lady, you can pass things along. And I know that given her type of community, which is, I'm guessing, people over the age of 50. Well, I just had a, pardon my face, very interesting experience with someone at 67, and a couple months ago, someone in their 60s. And essentially, I'm running into the same thing each time. This is your human biofield. Yeah, okay, we've been using tuning forks. People are targeted. We kind of stay away from certain situations, live like crazy fasting people with tons of supplements. Meanwhile, there's no Havana syndrome. Yes, there is. There's a unified kill chain from the Department of Defense. Oh, you're batshit crazy. Okay, if you're going to call somebody crazy, what you should be doing is asking, hey, man, where'd you get your information? Because you sound like you're fucking nuts. Really. And what I often explain to people is, oh yeah, I sound crazy, I understand. Where'd I get my information? College textbook. That's impossible. Well, no, here, I'll hold it up for you. It's a college textbook. One of two. So what? Okay, well, you have to read now and do some thinking on your own. Human interaction, emerging technology. So see, that means they're not here yet. Okay, they've been meeting for 7 years, and this is back in 2021. And what you have to do is not keep running away from information and calling it false. You have to actually read. And so we're going to go to page 1. I'm going to help you, okay? I know it's tough. I know. Human and computer interaction. That means that I don't need to inject you with anything at all. You are wireless. The majority of people, folks, in this country who are over 50, they're used to lying. And they're so used to it, they don't want to know. They don't care. They really just don't want to be involved. They're convinced that whatever's going on, until when? Until you're in pain. That's when. Then you run to the doctor. And that's where the trouble is. You have an electromagnetic body part, and 90% of diagnoses in this country are about to be completely handled by something called the medical Internet of Things. That's what this college textbook is addressing. And somehow you, who has children, by the way, this person who made this comment, you don't need to know about that? Yeah, because you think you're going to go see your doctor. Did COVID happen to you as well, or were you on some mystical island that didn't quite see what happened to people? Which was that you are now diagnosed by artificial intelligence. And that's something you can find all over the place. CDC, the government itself. It's called Project Salus. Okay, and she's just one of them. We have artificial intelligence databases that aggregate, that collect data from all the hospitals to help us watch. That's in this college textbook too. Okay, so when I read page 1, and I'm well aware that the human body is wireless. That's what the Internet of Medical Things does. It uses sensors, wireless sensors, tiny little electromagnetic fields that send data to computers. Yeah, and they're in your body. But you don't know that because you don't believe in that and you think it's a choice or a religion. Yeah, they did that on purpose 150 years ago. Because back in the late 1800s, people knew about plasmonics, cymatics, C-Y-M-A-T-I-C-S. In other words, frequency and vibration. Yeah, so if you're 50 plus and you're pretending like you've never heard of that stuff, I'm calling bullshit. I've seen so many high school yearbooks, radio stuff. You know, there's an electromagnetic field around the human body. You know. What you don't know is that they stopped lying about it now. That's the wire. I'm telling you, with the emails that I get, it's constant. Zip the lip, get the job. Run your mouth, bad stuff. Okay. Well, we've got bad stuff, like really bad stuff. And without our over 50-somethings in the game of life, especially if you've got children, hey, I really think, like, you're batshit crazy. I have an IQ over 200 and I'm disabled by the government. So yeah, probably to somebody like you, I sound nuts. So what I say is, I understand. I really do. Now what I'm going to demand of you, since you made that accusation, is that you stand by your own morality. You really believe I'm crazy because it just sounds like too much. Then you should be asking what my sources are. And you should be doing your own research because you have children. Now, I'll just write you off as crazy. I don't think you can afford to do that. No one in this country can. Why? Library of Congress, college textbook, personal records, but I didn't throw that in here this time. This is electromagnetic warfare. How about human history? When we change warfare from standing in a line and shooting each other, or mustard gas comes into the equation, or a machine gun versus just a one-shot gun, or we're going to, like I said, stand in a line, clean the gun first and wait, or cannons come on the scene. These are all new weapons. And when that happens in human history, same thing happens every time. First, we use the element of surprise, and then we go ahead and unleash everything we got, and then we kind of manage, massage, and go from there. As people in the Gulf War, you know, that's back in the 90s. We have non-lethal kill weapons. They're called electromagnetic, and now we use something called 6G low pan. That's a personal area network. But you don't know what that is because you're too terrified to even consider that technology walked on and that your children have been wired to the cloud as well. Everyone is. That's according, by the way, to the Department of Defense. You'll want to look at the Artificial Intelligence Symposium from September 9th, 2020. And you'll see very clearly, yeah, you're interfaced with the cloud. It says the same thing right here on page 1. For the lethal autonomous weapons system, that's where a drone comes and kills you. And if that's still not enough, feel free to check out the National Reconnaissance Office Reg 4, C as in cat, I as in igloos, S as in Sam, R as in reconnaissance. And right there, you will find that the Pentagon, just like 2 weeks ago or so, said, hey, we should review this decision we made to allow drones to kill people with no way to contact them. Yeah, you probably don't know that. We have databases that run something M as in Maple, 2 as in the number 2, and M as in Maple. That's machine to machine. It's referenced here in the bibliography numerous times because it means that you're not going to be able as a human to break it down into code and understand it. That's what encryption is. So it's a new kind of warfare. Okay, electromagnetic and drones, meaning that we use your body and the electrical field of your body for warfare because we're using the electrical field of your body to route our computer data in the new war, electromagnetic and drone. Wow, she's so batshit crazy, isn't I? It's about to get a whole lot worse. I hope you're still paying attention. So my other reference besides the Library of Congress and the college textbook is going to be this one. The International Standards for Engineering, Electrical, and Electronics. This is my other reference and a quote for a body area network, okay? Up here, 802.15.4. Since 2005, I have fixed electromagnetic fields in your DNA-generated body part. It's called a biofield. You used to call it the human aura. Then you laughed your ass off and lied about it. And said it didn't exist or it didn't matter. Meanwhile, NASA, dirtbox surveillance, and non-invasive N3 architecture. What's all that? Brain-to-brain interface, synthetic telepathy, synchron, Neuralink. Oh, no. AI and all this brain chip interface. No, honey. I have it crossed out here so you understand. We don't need a chip. You're wireless. You always have been. That's a 6,000-year human telemetry on the human circulatory system right here. Why? Because when I poke a hole in your veins and arteries with a needle, I make a physical change in your vascular system. So you cannot believe in chakras. You can believe whatever you want to. I made a physical change in your vascular system by plugging a needle in there and making space. Well, are you that damn dumb that you think I need to stick a needle in you to make space? So that means you've never had someone put a taser on you before. Well, no worries. That's what that does, 802.15.4. So let's read it, shall we? Let's read it together. This is the International Standards of Electronics, of Electrical, the International Standards of Engineering, Electronics. Why do I keep getting this wrong? I don't know why it will not stay in my head. Electronics and Electrical Engineering. I don't know why they do that. Anyways, whatever. It's my silly brain. Here we are, defining body area network. Levity is good, folks. And exchange digital information using the electrical conductivity of the human body as a data network. Body area network. Now, if you can't get your little Google fingers running and you're so mentally incompetent, then what are you doing with children being in your care? You're an adult. It's your job, not theirs, to tell them what's going on in science and industry. Yeah, that's part of being a citizen of our country as well. So where are over 50 people showing with exemplary, demonstrable types of examples? I am willing to learn and hold the fellow adults around me accountable. And in closing, if you're going to call me batshit crazy without even asking what my sources are, you're dead. It's a new type of warfare. You got to get educated. They're not going to tell you. Nobody is. Throughout human history, this is how it works. I already gave the examples. I don't care who you are or how old you are. You can't be that stupid unless you're doing it by choice. You have children. You can't. Because there's something called epigenetics. And your inability to be honest will get you killed. Guaranteed. There is nothing that is going to save you except you. Your biofield is generated by your DNA. You have to be able to appropriately feel what your body is telling you. You can't do that if you keep lying to yourself and telling yourself, well, I'm not wireless. You can't bother me. Okay, go get a taser, put it right here. Now, I'm going to turn it on. Low power, I'm not moving it. Now start taking Tylenol to block the pain signal. I'm going to burn your skin away and eventually get down to your bone. We're going to be in the emergency room, or you'll fail your liver taking Tylenol. Why? Because putting it in your mouth and into your digestive system doesn't remove the electrical current from your body. It'll negate the nerve signals coming in saying you're burning my skin away down to the bone. What good is that going to do you? To really solve the problem, you need to get that taser off of you. You have fixed permanent magnets inside of you that are accessible to something called the military and the government, the same ones that you're trusting. That's fine. But then you need to be mentally accountable to what they're doing. This is 6G low-pan personal area network. There's nothing on this card that you cannot type in and view for yourself. Pretending that you're too stupid to understand is not appropriate. You're an adult. You are an adult. So what's happened is these little fixed dots that I've got here, that's your magnetic fields. How? 802